Hey everybody, I'm Flying Scorpion, also known as Boozbaz in EVE Online, and I want to make a little video just talking about what's going on. So I started a corporation just 1 month ago. I think today is literally the 1 month anniversary so far of the corp. We're up to about like 20 to 25 members, somewhere around there, which I think is pretty good. That's almost a member every day. So we've grown much faster than plenty of the other corps I've looked around that are my competition. And we're doing some pretty exciting stuff. We are focused on making money, making ISK, and we've been trying out a variety of different activities. We've done moon mining, we've done Shadow War stuff, we've done mission running, we've done faction warfare, and you know, all these different activities seem to have their pros and cons, but generally speaking, when it comes to ISK per hour, it seems like the Shadow War has been the best. And it might not necessarily be the best for a higher skill level player, but it's been really good for getting lower skilled players to be able to make, you know, 100, 200, maybe even 300 million ISK an hour without, you know, having to spend a whole lot of time training into, you know, very specific ships like Tech 3 cruisers or Marauders or things like that. So if people have been around in the game for a long time, they can make better ISK per hour, but this is a very accessible activity and it's very lucrative, comparatively speaking, for how accessible it is. So that's really cool for a CCP to have done that. So yeah, I've been enjoying that, and we're continuing to do that. We're continuing to do Shadow War stuff. It's only a limited time thing anyway. It's not going to be around forever, so might as well milk it while we can. So I don't want to get into too many specifics on like what else exactly we've been up to, because I don't want to like create problems for our corporation. But one of the things I'd like to talk about that I'm pretty excited about is our recruitment incentives program. I think it's pretty cool. So let me give you a little bit of background information. This is my second time running a corporation in EVE Online. And the first time I ran a corp, it was called the Brutor Clan. And it was a PvP focused corp for the most part. And there was a point in time where some of the members were suggesting that we start using the corporation shares. Like we have people buy shares and maybe we can start voting on matters and stuff like that. And so I did a little bit of research on it because I wasn't going to just go and start doing that. And I found out that they could have a mutiny and they could just overthrow me, kick me out of the corp, and then take over the corp for themselves. And so I said, no, we're not going to do that. And so something that ended up happening was I got hit really hard in real life and I quit playing EVE Online. I just completely disappeared. I just completely disappeared. I stopped talking to people in EVE Online. I just went gone. And I was getting messages every now and then, like emails from people who were like, hey, you know, why don't you come and try some stuff with us? And I was just in a bad place in my real life, and I just didn't go back to EVE for 5 years. And when I came back to EVE, I saw all these old messages from people, corp-wide emails, and I can tell that I had done some harm to people by just disappearing like that. It wasn't a good thing to do. And the other thing is that it just left the corp in shambles. Like there's nobody to run it. They didn't have the ability to replace me, and the corp just slowly withered away and died. And it wasn't a good way of doing it. You know, really, you should hand over leadership to somebody else. And this is one of the reasons why the asset system, or the share system, exists in EVE Online, so that different people can own shares in the corporation and they can run for CEO. Yeah, they can kick the CEO out, but if the CEO is doing a good job and they don't have malicious intent to destroy the corporation from the inside, then it should work reasonably well. Now, it is EVE Online. There's lots of people that have malicious intent and they can get away with it without any harm done to them because there's no legal system in EVE Online. Like a CEO, like myself, for example, could take money from shareholders and then just disappear and create a new character and then just dump all the money into a new character's wallet, right? Like there's no one... So some things are just very different in EVE Online, and it's a playground for people who are like sociopaths to be able to live out their fantasies. But anyway, I'm aware of that, and I'm willing to take the risk of something like that happening because I think it might be a fun social experiment. And also I want to incentivize people to actually, you know, recruit for the corporation. And so what I decided to do was if people recruit for the corporation, rather than just giving them a flat amount of money every time they recruit somebody, I'll give them shares in the corporation, and then they will get paid dividends on the first day of every month. And as someone who has sales and marketing experience, one of the things that I really hated the most is like if I work for a company and I put in a lot of effort selling their product or selling their services, and I got paid a flat amount or a percentage of the initial sale, I knew damn well that anybody who gets sold the first time is pretty likely to become a repeat customer, and I wouldn't be getting any more cut off of that money. For some companies are like that. You don't get any more repeat money from customers over a longer period of time. And so what this shares program does is it actually gives people the ability to have passive income as a shareholder in the corporation forever. As long as the corporation remains active, they'll get money, as long as whoever is the CEO is continuing to put in the effort to pay out the dividends to the shareholders. So I think it's kind of a neat idea. I have a spreadsheet here, and I'm kind of interested in showing it to you guys, but at the same time too, I don't want to reveal too much information. Like, this information could eventually get into the hands of people that it shouldn't, but for now, I just will let you know I'm pretty happy and pleased with the spreadsheet I got set up. It automates a lot of the processes, and it makes it very easy for members of the corp to see what's happening in terms of like the internal finances of the corporation. It's fascinating to me to be able to have this social experiment in EVE Online. It's a simulation game. It's a space opera simulation, so it's fun to take risks and play with it. You know, if you've ever been an old school Dungeons and Dragons player, you might remember when you rolled a character, and maybe they still do this, if you rolled a character, you would roll your stats for each stat, and if you got a bad roll, tough luck. That was it. If your character had like terrible intelligence and they were stupid, or if they were very weak or whatever, if you got a bunch of stats that were bad, you just kind of had to deal with it, and then you would play the role, and it was okay because it wasn't just about having the best stats. It was kind of like rolling with the downsides and trying to make something fun out of it. So yeah, I think that's it. That's all I got to say. And thank you all for watching, and I'm looking forward to giving another update some point in the future. Bye.